Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the StarCraft 2 World Championship Series Challenger America's edition. I'm Nathaniel Show by Zombie Grub, and we're getting ready for Neeb versus TLO. It's going to be a Protoss versus Zerg. And I am so excited. How excited are you? How's your birthday been? Have these been birthday quality games, Zombie Grub?
You know what?
She doesn't have to answer, honestly.
They've been amazing. They've been fantastic. It's all I ever wanted for my birthday. And Twitch chat being nice.
Twitch chat has been very nice today. You guys stepped it up. Don't forget to keep talking about how great everybody else is, all right?
Yep.
It's a good time to compliment someone, anyone.
It's always a good time.
Yeah.
You're looking very handsome today, Nate.
Thank you, Zombie Grub. I think your eyebrows are on fleek. Did I use that word properly? I don't know.
You used it in like the one context I've ever heard it.
Kairos Junction. So we're going to start TLO versus Neeb. Well, I had to find a way to ruin it somehow. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe that is the appropriate term. I saw a drone get canceled to start this game, so we're going to have some cheese. It's a 12 pool. Out of our red Zerg player in the Northwest, he is TLO.
In the bottom right, as the blue Protoss for Ting, he is Neeb.
And he has gone for a pylon probe scout. So he should be fine, right? Because he went gateway. This is he's gonna be okay. Well, he may not realize that it's a 12 pool because he's trying to block the natural, but that's not really what TLO's plan here is. It seems to be very Zergling focused. He's taking his gas. So Neeb may accidentally psych himself out because TLO sent that drone past his probe. And that's like, oh, he's just going to take the third base. Like, whatever.
It rarely happens. I think that's every like Zerg player's dream if it's a pylon scout. Well, first of all, that it's not a pylon scout. Second of all, there's no scout at all. And then third of all, that if they do, any of those scouts, that they don't actually go into the main. But that never happens, basically. Protoss would be very silly to do so. Yep. Why check the third when you could just check the main?
It's going to start a Zealot, going to start another pylon as well behind the Cybernetics core. And Neeb is basically going to have to prepare to build a great big old wall. He's trying to keep those Zerglings out. Now, with the gas that TLO took, what do you think? Is he going to get speed to flood or a Baneling Nest? I'm not sure. Oh, he takes another gas. Oh, okay. He wants supply.
Well, I'm still kind of weirded out by it. I don't know what he's going to do with the gas, but I'm guessing speed.
I love this trap. He's like, that pylon, he can't really protect that without exposing the Zealot.
Yeah, that's a little conundrum, but Neeb is going to be prepared to make a second wall. Eventually, maybe even get a shield back. If he thinks he needs it anyway. He's getting a second Zealot, so...
Yeah, that'll be nice.
And then an Adept.
Multiple Zealots is where this gets better.
Second wall? There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot of lings. I think one of the tricky things that happens is that you don't know if they're like really committing to this. They're trying to build an expansion. If your probe, walks away or dies or whatever it is. But I do believe Neeb has quite a lot of experience being cheesed, since everyone thought that was his weakness for the longest time.
I think Fear Dragon was saying, or was it you telling me? I'm really bad at remembering things we talk about in the green room. One base lair. Is this Bly? What year is it?
Is he gonna go Nidus Worm?
So yeah, the craziness, we were talking about it backstage, that TLO's never beaten Neeb in a match.
0-13 in series.
Yeah, so I love this actually. I don't know. If you're really not favored at all and you just can't beat someone, do insane stuff.
And I think the map score is also pretty absurd, like 5-36 or something. So it's not even like it's all been really close.
Yeah, that is not a good map score to have.
It's 5-28, yeah.
So there's a lot of lings. The lair, so is he just going to turn this into a Ling Nidus?
It's got to be, right?
I'm just going to say that this remix looks okay, but the original Idra build was a little bit better.
Fair, right? It feels like it would be a little too late.
It feels so much later than the Idra build.
Yeah, he's going to have, well, I mean, you could actually go down to like how many units he had versus Idra, and it was like usually 3, maybe 4 with like
the probe sees it too. Oof.
This is so... So basically, Neeb never stopped. Oh, whoa!
Young walk.
Okay, so he's going to be down to
Sentry,
2 units. That's a mistake. That's a big mistake. Didn't realize his gateway was going to go down, I guess.
So Chrono Boost and the Immortal will help. Now, Neeb did have some difficulty by just the multiple Niduses bouncing around. But TLO is not in a position where he's going to be able to afford multiple Niduses either. Like, he's going to have, with the Nonic Gas he's mining, 2 shots max?
Yeah, I guess. he's still going to be going up to more production, like very, very soon. The gateways are finishing up. The Immortal is ready. So while the Probe's not looking for the Nidus Swarm, which seems like a mistake, should be okay.
Yeah, how many lings does he have in there? Oh, he's going to bring the queens in with it too.
Though.
That makes sense. Yeah, it is deja vu. It's exactly what it is. A couple more sentries are going to get warped in. There's the lings getting onto those sentries. And there's still the lings at the front. So they're immediately starting to work away at this wall. And the Nidus starts in the natural. Yeah, he's straight up. He's just... TLO is trying to go full NA here, ladies and gentlemen. Embracing the Americas region like a true transplant. Using the Warp Prism to power his infrastructure, though. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, he had to do this once before, so I guess he had it in his brain to do that. He's going to be able to go up against a wall here, so the lings will be too effective. And he still has 2 Warpins, but the Warp Prism, he can't actually depower again. The Warpins. Wait, does this still work? Does Neeb actually just not do well against Nidus? Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What? How? Why? When? Why does this work? Why does Neeb always fold against this? Well, I say always.
He's going to recall, save the Immortal. Okay.
I mean, it is so all in that I guess as long as he has any production and any economy, then we shouldn't call it. But like, it's just not.
Oh boy, is it kind of hot in here, Zombie Grove?
I don't. It's just, okay. So the drones come. So that's the thing. Pull the ropes. Pull the ropes.
He's doing it.
But there you go.
Oh my god. The probes are fighting the drones. Oh my god, this is...
That's so... The Immortal's going to live forever in that position.
This is amazing. I want to screenshot this and save it forever.
Okay, I feel like the
world... Print this out, put it on my wall.
Balanced again. Neeb does not lose against this.
I finally... you know what? I talked about this earlier. So, you know, every once in a while, I still see something in StarCraft I've never seen before. He did a drone pull through the Nidus to fight against the probes he would use to defend. And that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Oh my god, my eyes have been opened. Brand just warged into me. That was incredible. Oh man, wow.
That wasn't just deja vu. That was like flashbacks to Nom, but it was not Nom. It's Idriling.
It's that black and white gif of the dog that like holds up the cupcake and he just looks at it like.
I can't believe Neeb almost...
I want him to do it again. Twice in a row. Twice in a row. Do it really quick within the next 12 minutes. Okay, buddy?
He got so close to working. I really couldn't blame him. And Neeb he scouted it. He knew about it. He had just completely walled off his natural so he wouldn't have to deal with like the potential there. And it still started off with him messing up.
It was so close. It seemed like he tried to do his own take on it. Idriling's Nidus was definitely faster, but this was still crazy close to working.
It still caught it at the kind of like time before production's done, I guess, right? And then it started off nicely because he caught that Zealot and Sentry with the gateway going down when it wasn't supposed to.
It's very deceptive, too, that you think, well, the Immortal's really good at killing the Nidus network, but on the other hand, if the Nidus gets up, the Immortal sucks against Zerglings.
It's actually bad. Unless it's in this spot, which is undeniable. The Immortal would never die.
The clutch immediate use of the Warp Prism to just get a couple of extra units, though, considering how down to the wire this went, that becomes, in my mind, even a more impressive play to just instinctively like, boom, you remember the Warp Prism can provide power to buildings. We never really see that used like that because people's pylons don't get sniped all the time while there are Warp Prisms nearby. But in this situation, it ended up being incredibly important. And we're now loading into year 0. For game number 2.
Tell me, Nate. It's TLO Nidus again?
Yes, please. God, do it. Well, he's building a drone. No.
Okay, so it's not a one-based Nidus.
Well, even Idriling built a drone at the start of his game, to be fair.
It's true.
But yes.
Did Idriling, the second series, second game, did he do the all-in regime? The Nidus
I'm pretty sure he did it most of the games. He's the first game he did something like bad and lost, and then the next 2 games he was like he just did the Ling Nidus play. But the difference is TLO built a queen in this that last map. Idriling, I'm pretty sure the moment his Lings came out and pushed the probe away, he went straight to the lair. So he didn't have. So that was where he was able to make that extra little bit, and he got Ling speed, but he went like was it? Did he go for link speed before the lair?
Yeah, I think. Well,
yeah, but he didn't get a queen, so I'm just trying to remember the order that he did it in.
Oh.
Because you could do it off of this build too, and it would be just as fast, if not faster, presumably, as long as you don't get the queen first.
The reason I brought it up was just that I think that Neeb did. I mean, obviously, if that build was so powerful against Neeb, then Neeb wouldn't be here. Izherling just would have done it twice again and won in their rematch, which did not happen.
Well, maybe he should have.
I guess there's that, yeah. But Neeb, I mean, it's kind of the fool me once, you know, shame on me situation.
Yeah.
But Neeb, any slight variation is still kind of throwing him off. He still does not have the ultimate, like, yeah, this is actually stupid. Every time we're like, this is kind of stupid, right? Neeb almost dies to it, and we're like, well, is the build kind of stupid, or is Neeb just, like, kind of bad against holding cheese? But he's gotten here so far, so I guess it doesn't really ultimately matter. But TLO almost got him. Like a big gotcha moment. Didn't quite happen. And now we're on a year 0, which if he's not going to do anything aggressive, then are we going to get the super long game, which I'm doubtful that TLO wins.
Don't think so. I think TLO, the whole thing about TLO is that he's a smart guy. And a smart person knows when they're the underdog as well, right? Being able to recognize that he's probably not going to be able to out-macro Neeb. He may just try to think about a different way that he can try to do a particular attack, look for openings to get some work done. Because the thing is, Neeb is not a player that is going to necessarily sit back and be like, yeah, I can beat you in a macro game, so let's macro. Neeb may just say, well, I think I'm just going to play better than you, and I can just kill you with one of my 2 base adept timings, for example, which he still does pretty often.
Yeah, often enough. This game is going to be at Stargate with a little bit of an eye in that 3rd hatch. And it is still more in, I think, in our eyes, what TLO is going to do to change things up. He was obviously very prepared against Estrella, which makes sense. It was the match that he knew was on the way. But he also probably predicted, hopefully predicted that Neeb would win. That was the usual call there. It's just that when you're up against someone that you've literally never won against, not on the ladder thing, you know, maybe on the ladder there's some wins there, but competitive play, like, literally never won against. Do you just actually just go like, I'll figure it out. I'll try some things, or did he actually have anything prepared for this?
Yeah.
I think
very interested to see where he goes.
I think the last game might have been a little bit of preparation, like, well, I think he sucks versus Nidus always. But other than that, I don't know.
If I was TLO, one of the things I'd be thinking about is that was really sloppy, and I almost had him. Like, punching it again may not necessarily be the worst idea.
I wonder. But it's not any. Going for 2 base.
Mid-game Nidus is not what would do it to Neeb, though. Neeb's weakness, generally, when we talk about like where he loses in big games, I think back to like the Izherling scenario. Scarlet, a lot of his matches against Scarlet come down to Scarlet doing weird cheeses and beating him, even though Neeb actually performs really well in that mid-late game. But also, like the first time that we got reminded of that, like Neeb was on his rise in, God, was it 2016?
That was his year, yeah.
Yeah, and he had the match against Hydra, like towards the end of that WCS, and I just remember that final game on like Arena, where it was just like a Ravager rush, and he just got crushed by it. Like he just could not hold it, and it was just another one of those series where like Hydra cheesed him a ton, and people were like, this is Neeb's weakness. He's a really good macro player. He was a guy that was using a lot of adepts, even post-nerf, and because the nerf didn't really affect PvZ, right? And that was always where he excelled. But cheese was kind of always his Achilles heel.
Well, he also, back then, he also just was very obviously tilted and shaken easily. So he was cheese, and then he just would even in given a macro game in game 2 or 3, would just not do so well. He's kind of fixed that problem, and he's had enough experience against cheese that you would still say, like, he's just generally a well-rounded player. It's the reason he got so far in GSL, a tournament all about preparation, and he still did well there, right? But, you know, obviously there's still faults in everyone's play, especially if you're practicing maybe too much on Europe.
That's right. I don't know what you're talking about, Zombie Grub. I'm literally perfect at the game. The only reason I ever lose is because the other units are they're better than they should be. All right? Zergling should only do 3 damage.
Yeah.
That's the only logical way to fix StarCraft.
A little bit of a odd timing there, but he does get the Templar Archives finally finished.
Gotta be careful with those
Yeah.
The number of times, it doesn't happen often, but there's few things more painful than like right as the morphing starts, if the Oracle's not there to protect and like links around and kill the first Archons, like, oh. There's a spine crawler here though. TLO saying, I'm just gonna take the static defense approach to pushing away the Warp Prism Harass. I like it. +1 missile with some roaches are on the way to help stifle this. Like the Creep Tumor Snipes, great use of the Observer.
Absolutely. That is a large number of queens that are actually capable of being out on the map, so he has to be very careful with the Warp Prism. Yeah, it's already lost its shields, but the Archons generally don't have a problem against the queens alone.
Nah.
Just need to protect their mama? So is Warp Prism a mama?
I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know.
It's like the robot mama from Umbrella Academy.
I thought you were gonna go with a I thought you were gonna go like Jetsons or something.
Or, well, she was the maid.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Why do I think
Archons?
No, Robot Mama. That's a really old like Disney movie or something. I don't remember.
Oh, there's
God,
the Disney
house
original
AI?
movie. Yeah, yes, that was weird.
So long ago.
That was such a weird movie, man.
God.
It gave me creeps.
Yeah, for some reason that's where my brain went. That was terrifying.
Smart House, I think it was called.
Smart House. God, I can't remember. Wow, that memory came climbing out of the depths.
I love those original movies. Just not that one. That one is weird. So the Infestation Pit's now on the way. Where is that being made? Something that the Phoenix totally. He sees that, but TLO has been, I mean, one game versus Estrella, he was going to go into Infestors, but he kind of like, won the game beforehand. Another game, he went stupidly fast Hive. Here we have one Infestor.
Dude, like...
Give you one.
my brain is stuck on this now, man. At one point, like, people's Alexas and stuff are gonna start controlling them and be like, you can't leave me. Like your door's locked, you can't get out of your house. All of a sudden your fob doesn't work because you're your smart house is like, I'm lonely. You've been gone every night the last week. Where have you been going? Where have you been going, Jessica?
That was so creepy about it.
Yeah.
Like, what was the kid even doing? He was like
nothing.
He wasn't like going out and getting like high and drunk and stuff. Like
he was just hanging out with his friends.
That was a very needy mom. He's gonna go for Neural Parasite, but he doesn't go for Passing Winds.
That is an interesting strategy.
He has gone mass Neural Parasite against Archons before. And Immortals. Archons, well,
Neural, I like Neural versus Immortal. It's just hard to execute that because you usually got a giant buffer of like Zealots in front that they love killing stuff like the Infestors in that situation.
And Neeb's also going to move out before he has a very big army or a very large Infestor count, and I don't know if TLO is expecting that. He's going to see it with his Ling, and that's going to be a bit of a bummer, I feel. If there's a Warp Prism along, which, where is it? Oh, it's waiting to catch up with them. Then a couple of charged out Warp-ins, I feel should do really well. I don't know about this.
Yeah, Neural may not even be done yet with the timing of this if he pushes very soon. This is one of those things where TLO is trying to do what TLO does. Now the nice thing about the fungal that I really like to initiate is all the immortal barriers of those 4 immortals, all the barriers triggered. So for 20 more seconds, they're not going to have the extra shields. And now the other 2 immortals get fungaled, and that's really nice. Because obviously you'd like to land Bile with the fungal, but in that specific spot, now you maybe try to get the Neural with the other Infestor energy, but you've at least wasted the barrier. However, you don't have units, so it doesn't matter.
He does have more units, but Neeb's also setting up a big attack in the main base, so while he gets partially surrounded here...
Archon, the
Archon
splash kills the Observer, so that's nice.
Well, yeah, but for the surround that he was able to get, I thought that was going to go a bit better for TLO.
Yeah, not to mention, you talked about this, there's a Prism in the main base.
Yes, exactly. So that was probably the best case scenario for TLO, was get that surround, get the Archon under his control, and it still wasn't good enough.
One immortal, journey home.
Wow, Neeb's response to that is go for a Fleet Beacon?
Can't you just make a bunch more Archons and Zealots and Immortals and like A-move him now?
Yeah, I
Please
would
don't
think
style
so.
on TLO.
Neeb's not usually a styling guy.
No.
So this might be one of the, like, either he's thinking there's a Hive, which, no, he's got sight on the lair again. No, that's not possible.
Spire's just now starting. I don't know. I don't know what he's worried about here, but whatever it is, he shouldn't be worried about it.
Yeah, I feel like maybe it's like he saw some of his friends get fungal to death with their Archons, and is like, I don't want to deal with that. But that was also with like Hydra and Hydra range, which TLO can't. He was going to get to, but he couldn't get to fast enough, and now he can't afford. So yeah, I think Neeb just like walks over and kills him.
Just attack again, and that should do it. There's just not a whole lot else he can make other than roaches. And weirdly enough, even though that Spire is going to finish close to the time that this attack hits, if he was to be able to do anything, really, that's his... But why?
I guess he's thinking there's no Overseers, so he just hides everything. I mean, it's going to be the first thing knurled, but...
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, you want to make the Infestor more useful?
Well,
Neeb wants to build a mothership so that the Infestor can knurl it and the roaches are invisible and kill everything, and then Neeb loses.
There's nothing to kill the mothership, so yeah, it would be about TLO just using it as his own unit.
Yeah. Well, in reality, the Infestor would die instantly in Nebia. But 15 Mutt-Mutts are coming out. So the Fleet Beacon will be nice because he can just start immediately Anion Pulse Crystals and start Phoenix production. Even though he only has one Stargate, he can add more. But he sees the Mutas are coming now. Yeah, there you go. 2 Stargates get added. And wait for it.
Warping Stalkers and more Archons. I mean, the Zealots are literally buying time. They stand still. 17 drones down. TLO was going to be on 5 base with like 70 drones. Not too shabby, but now he's down to 4 with 60.
Start it. Do it. Do it. Phoenix should. Do it. Do it.
I'm surprised. Well, he is mostly thinking about getting Phoenix, I guess.
The power of Artanis compels you.
Apparently not.
No, I guess not. Oh, well.
There's no Archons here.
Yeah, this is awkward.
Oh, there they are. Okay, but that still doesn't work.
Oh, my God. When you're so far ahead, you don't care about losing all your own High Templar as long as you get rid of the Mutalisks.
Oh, which he mostly did.
Look at all those Immortals.
Yeah, they're all low.
He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna switch back into roaches. Are you though? There's 8 Immortals.
Yeah.
What number of roaches do you think is going to defeat 8 Immortals, my friend?
War Prism's gonna deny another base here.
By the way, Big Mama's out now, so.
It's true. And we finally have the Phoenix range. So everything is looking good for Neeb, who's on 5 bases and is about to be on +3 attack as well, in case nothing else was going well for him. But literally everything is.
Yeah. 8 Immortals. I'm just going to say that when the fight happens. 8 Immortals. 8 Immortals. 8 Immortals. Versus Roaches, 8 Immortals.
He does take care of this attack, but not just 8 Immortals. There's going to be like 9 Phoenix, and while the Mutas are mostly dead, he can just
He's got the Tal'Darim mothership skin.
Fancy.
What?
Are there any Overseers?
That's the first time that skin's been shown in a broadcasted tournament match that I'm aware of.
What army? I don't see one.
It's just a mothership, guys. There's only 1 unit coming at us. GG. Neeb brutal. Goes up 2-0. And that's about what I expected out of a macro game between these two. No offense, TLO, but Neeb is really good, and his build was really good. And the early neural parasite, questionable.
Well, that
to put it nicely.
That is the thing, okay? So I'm not even going to say that this is him, like, practicing against, like, preparing against Estrella, for instance, who was very passive. We also saw Hearthstone, for instance, be super duper passive. He might have just been playing against a lot of Protoss that didn't push when Neeb did. When you would say, like, maybe all Protoss should kind of, like, test the waters, right, with that type of composition, Neeb did, and just was like, oh, I will win this, and that was absolutely true. And if that wasn't the case, if he had just stayed at home or been like, no, I'm too shy to do it, then that's when TLO looks like a genius. But that's often what you say about TLO is that, hey, if it was X or Y other thing, he would have been a genius.
Yep.
But this case, no, not so much.
Yeah, pretty cool to watch that Big Mama ship show up. Nice, well done. And the third map will be on King's Cove. TLO. It's a harder map to wall in on. Do the Ling thing. Screw it.
Yes.
Screw it.
I think so. I really hate to just like almost gang up on TLO, but the stats are there. These 2 games are here, and
stats don't lie. All right.
Yeah.
Trick plays are how worse teams beat better teams.
Absolutely.
So it's been proven throughout history, all right? If you can't beat somebody at war, give them a giant horse with your best soldiers in it and the one that only had his ankle not dipped in the river, and you can still cheese your way back to victory. That horse being a Nidus worm. This analogy.
That is almost an excellent analogy if a Nidus worm could be friendly. If you, oh my God, if you could do like the ally, if you allied in 1v1, which you can't do, by the way.
Right.
But actually bringing a Boxer, because Fear Dragon did earlier today, that's something he did with Spider Mines, and then unallied His opponent walked over it. If you could do that with Nidus Worms, then that would be the Trojan horse.
Yes,
that
would be incredible.
Still not make any sense because they would be like, why am I not attacking
So
this?
the Changeling comes in looking friendly and then the Nidus pops? I don't know.
Actually,
what
I'm okay
if
with that
a Changeling could deploy into a Nidus Worm? What if the Changeling could burrow itself into the ground and open the tunnels?
I mean, we have been missing infested Terrans that explode and deal massive amounts of damage after controlling a command center. We need something akin to that.
Low-key, that is my biggest disappointment with StarCraft 2, is that there is zero actual infestation. Lore-wise, infestors supposedly eat the corpses of Marines and spit them out as infested, but that doesn't make sense if you play a Terran and there's like no bio, right? Like, where are these Marine corpses coming from? Why can't I mind control? I'm a Terran player. I can't imagine anything cooler than one of my command centers getting like peed on by corruptors and then infestors coming over and like taking it over. I'm like, no, this is actually really, really cool.
What is... Oh my god, I just imagine like the corruptor pee is what like attracts the nearby infested Terran. That's the lore right there.
And I'm like, no, there are a few things cool at doing that. I love to do Zerg memes and like big like BGH and stuff, just so I could be like, all right, I'm gonna unally my teammate for a second, give me a command center, and I'm gonna make infested Terrans.
That was great. I think that was only ever used once in a professional game.
That's a crying shame. But you know, for those of us who like to have fun and do meme builds, that sounds awesome. That's the kind of thing that would make me want to play Zerg. Is just like, no, you could legit like take over a Terran structure and build infested Terrans if you want.
I'm not opposed to this. It was so absurdly low of a chance you'd have an opportunity to do it. It's like writing out GG with pylons without being as BM.
The Queens are flimsy units, right? Especially if you had to bring like an actual infestor. They're vulnerable. They're small. What are the odds that you can get an infestor next to a burning down command center with nothing around to stop you? Because it also took time to do as well.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, at any point, Blizzard, feel free to contact us.
Please, please. As a Terran, I'm telling you, it's okay. We're okay with this.
We'll tell you what to do.
People will never do it. Just give us or at least give us the infested Terran building skins.
Yeah.
I feel like we'll never get those because then people would really complain about not knowing what's what. They'd be like, oh my god, is Alexander going to come down? Am I playing against Stukov on the ladder? What? Okay,
let's give them a little bit more credit. At least they weren't confused with Mechanical Zerg. I don't get it.
If you got Mechanical Zerg, I want infested Terran skins, please. Playing Stukov, half the fun of playing Stukov is the giant crab legs, spider legs, monster legs that all the buildings have to walk around.
That is pretty cool. This is pretty weird. Drone scouting, generally not advised, but it just literally walked in because
there's no units.
There was no, yeah, exactly. There's no units. And if there is, and it's out of position or anything like that, it just, if it was like a Zealot, for instance, you just mineral walk past it.
And now he's going to soul bond with that Vespine Geyser.
Soul bond?
Yeah.
What is that from you?
I don't remember where I heard that first time.
That's like a Final Fantasy 14 thing, isn't it? Beer Dragon, come here!
Okay, well, I may have played that recently, but I feel like I've heard it somewhere else as well.
I'm sure it's in something else.
I'm pretty sure it's a generic term in any fantasy-type universe for marriage, basically, as well.
That's a good point. So TLO isn't just going to scout with this pesky little drone. He is also going to steal a gas. Nope. I wouldn't mind him stealing a gas, though. It's going to take a while for a single stalker, and Adept doesn't want to help because it needs to wall off like this. So he does let TLO take, or Neeb take it. I feel like he should have stolen it.
Yeah, I guess it's an interesting thought because the stalker, he would kill it eventually. He would just rather have the information in the main base because there's no overlord. So
I guess so. I mean, once you see the Stargate, there's a lot of other things to see. For instance, a second Stargate. There you go. But Neeb just killed it before it could do that. Okay.
Nice.
Well, it is second Stargate.
Do you think Neeb does a meme build here? Do you think Neeb builds a fast fleet bacon, goes into the cares? No. Or is it just a lot of Phoenix?
I think he's going to mass Phoenix. Danny Neeb's on a styler, okay? Maybe a mothership, okay? Like last game, but otherwise...
Okay.
Okay. A lot of Phoenix, going to surprise TLO. Now, TLO, you know, to be fair, he didn't see anything follow that Stargate up, so he knows that he is still in the dark. He's not just like... I mean, hopefully, anyways. He's not just like, yeah, I can do whatever I want. But it is possible that of all the things he's guessing, he is not guessing double Stargate. It's not really the most common thing. Certainly the most common follow-up would be like the Archon drop, which we saw last game. So That's the trouble here. And TLO not gonna have any way of getting that information. Just more like, oh hey, they're thirds at this time, and they actually couldn't even get the gas timings. Well, kind of with the cancel.
The third Nexus is on the way. Comes over. Oracle does a little pokey poke. Pulls out. Nothing crazy. Why? How do you feel about the idea of going for +1 air with this? Crazy? Too crazy? Rotterdam would do it.
Rotterdam would absolutely do it.
He would already have +1 actually. He would have gotten it before Warp Gate. He might not even have Warp Gate.
I don't think it's necessary if you're going to do it like the pros typically do it. We don't usually see it, so I have no strong opinions on it. It is a non-Protoss player.
Oh, hey, the double Stargate into the double Robo. Okay,
yeah.
well, we have seen this. Yeah, this is a thing now.
So the Ling sees that. That's the first indication. There are 3 Spore Crawlers already. A couple Queens guarding the building, the second building Spore Crawler. This is not a huge advantage initially. And TLO, again, oh no, he just collected all of his Queens. So he has 5 and they're on the front lines. That's nice, since he won't just get the snowball started by killing 4 Queens and 20 drones and so on. But he will gain the map control. Roaches do not want to go across the map against this, especially since they've already not been built. So he's going to go into an infestation pit.
Here you go. Where are your overlords?
Wow.
3 spores.
Wow.
Whoa.
That
Really does not want to lose their drones, but they will anyway.
Yeah, that's 1 Phoenix down, and I think that was it. That was the only thing that died. Very small run by.
Phoenix down, huh?
Heck.
Infestation pit's going to finish up. Starts Burrow. Roach Speed is almost ready, and the Overseer comes over to confirm that, yes, the third base is still here, and he did not accidentally kill it after defending the attack.
I think he ran past the infestation pit, which is the main base. Yeah, he did. So definitely the knowledge of possible infestors.
Phoenix, too. He really wants to make sure that he doesn't take any losses at all to this. Wait, he lifts the Zealot, too. He's like, Zealot, you're going to live.
Yeah. Oh, he does.
I put you into purgatory so that you can survive this battle.
Burrow will be for the infestors. He wants the shark attack, and fortunately, we might be going back to the old, the same scenario we had last game, where it sounds awesome. You know, you take out the Phoenix, that's great. You pop the Immortal Shields, that's great. But will you have the rest of the army to do anything else against all the charge lots, against the Immortals that are still alive, even if they don't have the Hardened Shields?
The big boy Immortal strategy. So many Immortals. Ay, ay, ay.
Neeb also going to have Archons and Storm and feedback. It's one of those things when it works, it looks super cool. And we saw it work, Mass Fungals against someone who was very eager to over-make Archons even. Yeah. But Neeb is not making Archons, making Immortals, which still have the
Phoenix
range.
Behind. Rip. Phoenix never had a chance.
Another Phoenix down.
She's going to take the 4th. Drop another couple of pylons, and the Hydralisk Speed will also boot on up. The charge is almost done. War Prism is coming, and so is +1 attack. So perhaps we will see Neeblet make his move in the near future.
Yeah, adding on a bunch of gateways, timing up with the upgrades, and he has High Templars. No, he doesn't have any High Templars gathering energy, so I guess that's the only thing I could say against that. But he will have the production and the army and the scouting information to do this. He hasn't lost his Phoenix yet, so while they're not killing drones or lifting infestors, they are still scouting, although you got to be careful. The Burrow is going to make sure that they aren't always in the full knowledge. And actually, Neeb, not even going to go for the attack. Well, that War Prism is sending its way across the map as if it's going to harass, but he did that last game. So maybe this is still going to be the attack with a big warp in the main base.
Excited to see how he executes it here. Neural Parasite is on the way again. Did not have a real impact in any tangible sense in the last game. I think the Fungal Growth to trigger the Barrier of the Immortals is a great play, though. I love it. Obviously, it does damage, but most importantly, the Barrier is what makes those Immortals such hefty chompers.
This is perhaps going to be very similar to last game. The big change-up, though, would be that TLO has, I think, maybe more infestors?
No Spire on the way?
No, he still has only 4 infestors. Hydras. He's going to have Hydras. He's going to have a bit of a better unit than just pure Roach, especially against the Mass Immortals.
Loses the Oracle. Not having a tag on the army could definitely impact his ability to deal with the infestors. But with this as many immortals, as long as he doesn't lose the Observer immediately, he should be able to just like mow his way through. But let's see. Ooh, Infestors maybe want to get the engage up from the top side. Oh, he only gets one of them. Actually, kind of fights a little bit away from where the Infestors can assist.
He totally predicted the Warp Prism, by the way, and has denied it twice now from warping into the main base. Oh, Phoenix coming
here
out.
to cover it though. Nice.
Yeah, that was a nice little addition. There was only one Hydra targeting it, so that was absolutely perfect. That still means there's not extra army on the front line, and he is going into the dangerous portion of King's Cove.
Oh, the choke. He's feeding into the choke point. The Queen actually like burrowed to avoid dying as well. Well done. Zealots trying to shoot through, but those roaches are a little bit too tanky. Neural Parasite on the Archon. Well, that Infestor immediately dies. The other Infestor also dies. 6 Storms drop all over this army. Ouchie wawa. And the Immortals stand strong. The Observer does die, but at what cost, Zombie Grub? At what cost?
The entire series. TLO does not have enough firepower to back up the cool
He
Neural
just the
Parasite.
Overseer in the last moment, too. I'm just like, GG, Neeb takes the 3-0. And he goes on to the grand finals of WCS America Challenger. Well done.
Yes, he has, at this point, proven that his path to being champion of the Americas is going to be even an easy one. I always hate to use that word, but just 3-0ing TLO in that fashion and having a very good record against Jon Snow in the finals.
Masa was always a player that was like decent at cheesing him out.
Yeah.
But
he could have been the hope. He could have been the challenger.
He could have.
Maybe.
He could have been the challenger in that scenario.
And I guess we shouldn't count Jon Snow entirely out yet. He did outperform our expectations versus Masa.
A Herculean feat for him to defeat Neeb, I think. But
it would.
Let's see how good his Nidus play is. Well,
I think he's really to me, man.
Question. We've only got one match left for y'all today here, and it is the grand finals. Coming up next, a Protoss versus a Zerg. 2 men enter the arena. One leaves a champion, the other in a body bag. Coming up next on the World Championship Series StarCraft 2.